Seventh grade, what's happening, everybody? Mr. V here, coming at you with a new video. Midweek Wednesday video drop coming at you. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope all's well. Today, I want to mix things up a little bit and talk about a topic that I've actually enjoyed learning about over the years, and it's anger management. I know that might sound a little weird, a little random, a little out of nowhere, but I just kind of was sitting here and it came to me, hey, do a video about anger management. So I don't know who out there might be struggling with anger. I think most of us at various different times have dealt with anger, and some of us have a little bit better control over it than others. But this was an area that I decided as a counselor years ago that I wanted to learn more about, and I actually went and got certified as an anger management coach. So I thought I'd share a little something. So there's so much to talk about when it comes to anger, so much. And if it turns out that this is a topic that you guys enjoy and you let me know, I can continue to talk more about this. But I thought, let me give you one tip that something to think about if you're struggling a little bit with controlling your anger. One thing that if you could only do this one thing, if you could focus on this one thing, it would make a big difference. It would be a tremendous difference maker for you in terms of controlling your anger. All right. And so that one thing that I would want you to focus on is awareness. Now, that's a big term. It's broad. It means a lot of things. So what do I mean when I say awareness? I don't necessarily mean awareness that you have an anger problem, even though that is critical, right? That's probably the very first thing that we need to be able to acknowledge, is that we have an anger problem, right? So yeah, that's the first way that awareness comes into play. You got to be aware that you have this problem, okay? But what I really want to talk about in terms of awareness is how to recognize that you are beginning to escalate and you are beginning to possibly lose control. How to recognize that early, because the earlier you could recognize that you are moving towards anger, and that things are starting to escalate for you, the earlier you could recognize that that's happening, the better chance you're going to have of intervening and responding in an appropriate way to your anger. Because again, there's nothing actually wrong with anger. It's an emotion that we have, and it's actually an important emotion that we have. I think the problem comes into play in how we respond to that anger. So in terms of awareness, first thing that you really need to be aware of is kind of when you're heading into a difficult situation, or if you're heading into a situation that typically causes you stress, or a situation that typically makes you uncomfortable or makes you upset or angry, if you are heading into a situation like that, it's important to have that level of awareness before you go into it, right? If let's say you're having a meeting with somebody who kind of gets under your skin at times, and you know this, right? If you can have an awareness of that before you enter into that, that's going to give you a significant advantage in terms of managing your emotional response when you see this person, right? So if this particular person gets you upset or gets under your skin every time you see him, maybe before you go into that meeting, you take a moment and you just remind yourself, hey, I am going to see this person in here. They oftentimes get under my nerves. I'm in control of my body and my actions and my response. I'm going to be calm in there. Anything that person says, I'm going to let it roll off my shoulders, and I'm not going to react in a way that I can regret. See, now you're preparing and you're getting yourself ready for this difficult situation. There's a good chance you're going to have some success in there, right? So before you come into difficult situations, having an awareness that it's difficult for you, and then kind of prepping yourself before you head into it. That's number one. But the other thing is having an awareness of how, as you escalate from like a mild frustration to steaming, boiling over with anger, as you escalate, having an awareness of what happens to your body, right? your heart might start to flutter a little, beat a little faster as you get more angry. Your palms might start to get sweaty as you get more angry. You might start to feel tension in your neck or your back as you get angry. You might start to feel some type of physical sensation like rushing through your blood, right? The more that you could be aware of the physical symptoms that your body demonstrates as you get angry, the better. The better chance that you're going to have of intervening early on. And the earlier you can intervene, the better. We know this. And the other last thing about awareness is awareness of what's going on in here, right? What are you saying to yourself? What are the things that you're repeating in your head as you're going through situations? And if you notice that your thoughts are escalating and getting angrier, and you're saying things that are kind of angrier, and maybe you're saying things that are untrue, and you're irrational thinking in your head, and you're making forever and always statements, and just kind of escalating in the negativity in your mind, the sooner you could recognize that that's happened, the sooner you could intervene with that and start to try and change the way you're thinking about a situation, right? So I think the key is that the sooner you can intervene and recognize that your blood is starting to boil, the sooner you could do that, the sooner you introduce choice into the equation. See, anger is hard because a lot of times anger, it sneaks up on us, it sneaks up on us. And then all of a sudden, boom, we react. And then we regret it later, right? But if you can introduce choice into the mix early on, now you can have a conversation with yourself and say, I'm getting angry. I can feel the blood boiling. My palms are getting sweaty, and I'm starting to say things in my head that aren't great. And it's only kind of exacerbating my problem. If I don't get myself out of this situation, I'm going to lose it right now, right? And so you kind of talking to yourself about your choices. All right, I'm going to change my thinking, and I'm going to walk away. I'm going to find myself to another room. I'm going to go do some deep breathing instead. I'm going to find some, de-stress activity that I can do, right? So you're introducing choice. You can go this way and express your anger through rage and who knows, or you could decide to go this way and enter into, some de-escalation techniques and make good choices. So awareness equals choice equals a more appropriate response to anger. So that's it, guys. It's about 8 minutes. Talked for probably a little bit longer than I wanted. I'm really curious to know what you thought about this topic. I wonder if you guys have any interest in this, hearing more about it. Um, Also wonder if any of this makes sense to you. Please do leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And if it is something that you guys enjoyed, we can definitely talk more about it because there's a lot more to talk about. All right, everybody, good talking to you. Stay motivated, and we'll see you again soon.